Now at Sunrise, new developments this morning as forensics teams scour the scene of the explosions in Boston.
And we'll hear from Washington lawmakers after a big defeat on the gun control front. Plus,
the school's gone, the apartments are gone. It's horrible.
Registering as a 2.1 seismic event, a deadly blast rips through a Texas fertilizer plant. The next hour of News Channel 21 at Sunrise starts right now.
Now, from Central Oregon's news leader, this is News Channel 21 at Sunrise.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to News Channel 21 at Sunrise. I'm Alicia Inns.
Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Renee Nelson. It's Thursday, April 18th, 2013, and I'm hearing rumors of 60 degrees and snow. So I think everybody gets to be happy this morning.
I think so. That's what we get when it's springtime. I know Brittany Weiner is in for Bob Shaw this morning. And Brittany, I know you've been talking about maybe getting some fresh snow up in the mountains, but also some nicer weather this weekend, so maybe a little bit for everyone.
That's right. Well, we're going to have to see some rain, but we will see the snow in the mountains before we get to that sunny and 60-degree weather.
All right.
So
we'll have to bring
some rain.
Yeah, some rain.
Some rain.
Just a little bit, though,
okay,
I
good.
promise. It's not going to last for that long.
All right, good news.
We are seeing cooler conditions this morning. If we take a look at our current conditions right now, 36 degrees in Bend, 31 in Redmond, and we are just seeing calm winds right now, and they should remain calm throughout the day today, just coming out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. We will be seeing 50s as our high across Central Oregon today, 57 as a high for Redmond, 55 in Bend. We're waking up to partly cloudy skies this morning as we take a look at our satellite and radar, but those will increase from our northwest as we move later into this afternoon, and they will eventually bring some rain showers. I'll let you know when we will see those and how long they're going to last in my full forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
I just saw the explosion, and then after that I took off running, and then I saw the rest home, and people, you know, were buried under the west home. The west home was gone, and yeah, just evacuating the rest home, helping them, you know, getting the critical ones into the hospital here, and it was just crazy.
Well, that's young Sammy Chavez of West Texas. They're describing the chaotic scene after a massive explosion at the town's fertilizer plant.
And we're receiving reports this morning that at least 5 people are dead and over 170 are hurt at that scene. An apartment complex was destroyed, with the second floor collapsing just after the blast. Neighborhoods sustained severe damage, with doors and windows blown out by the concussive force of that explosion. Hundreds of injured neighbors were triaged at the West High School football field, which was soon evacuated for fear of another explosion. We're tracking this story very closely and will bring you any new developments.
The President and First Lady visit Boston today to comfort and support people in that city following Monday's fatal bombing at the Boston Marathon. Meanwhile, the investigation into who's responsible makes significant strides as investigators piece together all the clues pouring into them. Chris Pallone has the latest.
In Boston Wednesday night, an emotional outpouring of pride and resilience. Thousands of hockey fans at Boston Garden singing the national anthem as one, embracing the motto, Boston Strong. The small slice of normal capping a chaotic and tense day in the city, which saw investigators hone in on a possible suspect and an evacuation of the federal courthouse after a bomb threat. Sources tell NBC News a significant break in the case came Tuesday. Department store surveillance video near one of the blast sites captured images of a man leaving a bag or backpack at the spot where the bomb went off. It's pictures like this one from NBC affiliate WHDH helping investigators zero in on a suspect. While it's not clear if the garbage bag seen here contained a bomb, federal officials tell NBC that is the spot where the second device exploded. Former ATF bomb investigator Jim Kavanaugh says it's obvious to him.
Large injuries were on the side of it, debris field to the left, some protected areas over on the right side that indicate the blast was to the one side of the trash receptacle. This was the seat of the blast.
As memorials and tributes pile up around the crime scene, Bostonians are anxious for an arrest to be made soon.
I guess they're doing as best as they can. I mean, it's going to take a long time before they figure out who did this.
The next step in the healing process for a city on edge. Chris Pallone, NBC News, Boston.
The president will deliver remarks at an interfaith prayer service at Boston's Catholic Cathedral this morning before meeting with first responders and state and local officials.
The Senate has rejected the Manchin-Toomey bipartisan amendment to expand federal background checks on gun buyers. The vote is considered by some to be a major blow to President Obama's push towards gun control. The president made several gun proposals after the mass shooting in Newtown, Connecticut that killed 20 children and 6 adults. There were 54 votes in favor of the amendment, but the measure required 60 votes to advance.
An arrest has been made after a series of letters possibly laced with the deadly poison ricin arrived on Capitol Hill. Paul Kenneth Curtis of Corinth, Mississippi is in custody. The FBI has now confirmed at least 2 letters, one intended for the president, another for a U.S. senator, and a mail screening facility have all tested positive for the poisonous substance. Both read, quote, "To see a wrong and not expose it is to become a silent partner." They were signed, "I am KC."
Closer to home, the high state of alert forced an evacuation at a state building in Salem after a state worker opened an envelope containing a white powder. Yesterday's discovery forced the evacuation of the mailroom at the state revenue building and the entire first floor as well. Hazmat crews and the National Guard spent the morning on scene. 7 workers were isolated at the time, and crews determined the powder was not dangerous and gave the all clear. An employee describes the moments the letter was found.
It was in the cutting room. We have machines that cut the envelopes open, and when the envelope went through the machine, the white powder kind of puffed up into one of the workers' faces.
An officer with the National Guard said he's not sure what the powder was, but compared it to a protein powder.
Officials in Pendleton in Northeast Oregon say they're making a pitch to get drone manufacturers interested in their area. They say the sparse population and lack of air traffic make the region a fine place to test unmanned aircraft. Economic development consultant Steve Chrisman tells the East Oregonian that drones are likely to be the area's best bet for dramatic developments at its industrial park. He says the region plans a conference of manufacturers this fall in the area, and he hopes to attract participants this week in a trip to Seattle. Well, switching gears now, here on the high desert, we're at least somewhat familiar with rattlesnakes, but this sounds like something from a science fiction movie.
Authorities in Washington state have seized a nearly 5-foot-long illegal hybrid diamondback rattlesnake from an Olympia apartment. Now, the Olympian reports that an animal control officer seized the snake on Sunday after a neighbor called with concerns. A state fish and wildlife officer, Greg Haw, says the hybrid snakes are dangerous because there isn't anti-venom readily available that could be used as an antidote if it bit someone. The snake's former owner may face a potential fine of up to $2,000.
Oh boy.
Seeing that the second time doesn't make it any better.
No,
And
I'm
it's still
sorry.
just as
This is
creepy.
me. That was me watching it.
Yeah.
I did this the whole time. Rattlesnakes, I was saying in the last hour that Brittany and I had an encounter we told you about with a rattlesnake at Smith Rock, and we were just walking along the path, and literally 2 inches off the path, rattlesnake. Brittany fell down a little ditch. I ran away. Sorry about that.
I mean,
broke a camera.
I was being left.
Yeah,
for
it
dead.
was
For dead.
But then the thing is we just bravely kept walking, and
Yeah.
20 feet ahead, another rattlesnake. It was
Yeah.
during the summer. And
It was really hot.
Yeah.
And I think that's when they like to be out. They're tanning.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, you
enjoying.
said there's signs that
There
say...
are signs that just say beware that they're
Yeah.
possibly around. I just didn't expect them to be so close to the path.
I
where all
didn't
the
expect
people
to ever see one.
Yeah, it's not something I
So,
want to relive.
I'm
so
hoping this doesn't happen again this summer.
yeah, that video just
Keeping
brings
my
out
fingers crossed.
some harsh
Yeah.
memories, that's for sure. All right, still to come, some advice from the IRS for those that might have missed the deadlines to turn in those taxes.
And if you're searching for a better way to manage your money, prepaid debit cards could be the answer.
We are waking up to partly cloudy skies this morning, but we will see those clouds increase as we move into this afternoon. We are looking at cooler conditions outdoor right now. 36 degrees in Bend, 31 in Redmond, and just calm winds. And we will see those temperatures move up into the 50s across the board for Central Oregon, and those winds will remain calm out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. But as I said, those clouds will increase and they will eventually bring some rain. I'll let you know when and how long it's going to stick around in my full forecast coming up next.